Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I've got another nostalgic school dish in front of me. This is a slice of jam and coconut sponge cake and it is delicious. And in this episode, it'll come with the extra added bonus of being accompanied by a lovely strawberry custard. So, as I show you how to make this fantastic treat, please sit back, relax, with a cup of tea in hand, putting those feet up too, and enjoy this episode. And don't forget to subscribe. For those who lived in the UK, the following school meals that have appeared on the channel should evoke fond, nostalgic memories of our time traversing through the UK educational system. In this episode, we'll be sharing our recipe for a school time favourite in the form of this jam and coconut sponge, which will be one of our lightest, fluffiest and most satisfying cakes yet. Step by step, you'll be shown how to prepare this before we proceed into a session of tasting at the end. So now, with your interest peaking, please allow me to introduce the ingredients to you. For today's Brilliantly British jam and coconut sponge cake, you will need some desiccated coconut, some caster sugar, some self-raising flour, some baking powder as well. You will also be needing some eggs, some butter, some vanilla extract. You will also be needing some jam. Follow the link up there to learn how to make jam yourselves. You will also be needing some oil, some milk, and a little pinch or two of salt to avoid the occurrence of bland food. And that is all you will need for today's Brilliantly British jam and coconut sponge cake. But please, before you get started, before you do anything at all, switch on your kettle, brew yourself a nice cup of hot tea so that you can sip on that whilst you bake. To prepare another nostalgic school dish, begin preheating your oven. Then, creaming butter and sugar with a pinch of salt for 5 minutes until fluffy and pale, at which point incorporate your eggs one at a time before dashing in oil, followed by a splash of milk and some spoonfuls of vanilla paste. Having momentarily set the mixer to one side, proceed by mixing your flour and baking powder before sifting into your wet ingredients, and then mixing well until homogeneous at a low speed. With the batter made, turn it out into a paper, or in my case butter and flour lined baking sheet, leveling it out before relocating your pan to your oven to bake. With some free time on your hands, take the time to rehydrate with a cup of tea and relax with some Brilliantly British content in hand, making sure, of course, to like and subscribe. Thank you. Once baked, allow the cake to cool completely before finishing with lashings of jam and a heavy dusting of desiccated coconut. So now, with this jam and coconut sponge made and your interest peaking, I think it's high time for tasting, tasting, tasting. Are you ready? Are you steady? 3, 2, 1. Okay, I've made up my mind. This cake is brilliant. It's one of the spongiest cakes I've ever had. This isn't far off from something like an angel food cake, which is the lightest of all sponges, I'd say. It's just like a sponge and it's just got so much spring back to it. The jam on top does add a lovely level of sweetness and fruitiness to this cake, and the desiccated coconut on top. Personally, I'm a massive fan of all things coconut related, so I'm not going to complain when loads of coconut has been put on this cake because it adds a lovely welcomed texture. It's brilliant. With that being said though, this cake in school wouldn't have been enjoyed on its own like this. The way it would have been enjoyed would be with pink custard. So let's do that session of tasting in 3, 2, 1. Oh, nostalgia. Wow. Things weren't so bad at school. They really weren't. This strawberry custard, for that is why this custard is pink, in case you were wondering, is available on our channel. Follow the link up there to learn how to make it. It goes perfectly with this and is I'd say the traditional way to enjoy this cake. Otherwise you can go for a simple vanilla custard, which is also up there, but the two of them just work. The initial thought would be that this cake is soft and fluffy enough. A sauce would perhaps ruin the experience here, but it doesn't. I don't know how or why it works, but it just does. And I implore you, please, my dear viewers, my dear friends, make this dish, make this cake, make the custard as well, because it's worth it. Please, please, please go out, get the ingredients and make this treat. Please. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for allowing me to show you how to make a school-style jam and coconut sponge cake. Knowing that you loved this episode, don't forget to click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so that you don't miss any of our new releases. Tell everyone that you know, and I mean everyone that you know, about the Brilliantly British food on this channel, and follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on, and I will see you next time. It's filming. Stop.